come across this word mandate system? कुछ पता है क्या हुआ था? I had said that Treaty of Versailles के बाद Treaty of Versailles being a discriminatory treaty took away the vast lands or vast territories of Germany from Germany itself and placed it under the control of either League of Nations or, in practical sense, we say, in the hands of the victor nations, right? So this mandate system was also a way to actually showing the influence to the vanquished party. Okay. Now what was happening? So after the First World War, most of the German and Turkish colonies were placed under the mandate system. Just a second. मैंडेट सिस्टम का मतलब ये था कि जो कॉलोनीज थी दे वर डिवाइडेड इनटू 3 कैटेगरीज, कैटेगरी ए, कैटेगरी बी एंड कैटेगरी सी. कैटेगरी ए, बी, सी में कौन कौन से पार्ट से या कौन कौन से टेरिटरीज थे, यू कैन सी. सो मतलब what was the basis of categorization of these category? So category A में वैसे nations थे, those nations who have reached a stage of development and they needed only supervision. The category B colonies were those colonies who were not who were not developed, and they needed, or we can say they needed administered by different countries where they could develop themselves. And category C में वैसे countries को रखा गया था, they were below development level and they were totally under the control of the victor powers. Now in this, so category A countries जो थे Iraq, Palestine, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Palestine and Transjordan, या फिर ये तीनों जो कैटेगरी के थे, इनको मैंडेट सिस्टम के अंडर एक मैंडेट कमीशन बनाया गया था. सो दीज ये तो आपको पता चल गया कि ये 3 कैटेगरी के अंडर ये स्टेट थे और इनको डाला गया था ये सारे कैटेगरीज में ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ देयर डेवलपमेंट. सो दीज, अब इनकी रिपोर्ट चाहिए होती है कि किस बेसिस पे आपने हर 6 मंथ्स पे कितना डेवलपमेंट हुआ या क्या हुआ. उसके लिए दे हैड क्रिएटेड, द लीग ऑफ नेशंस हैड क्रिएटेड अ मैंडेट कमीशन. This mandate commission also, when the League of Nations and when this mandate system was created, it was thought that the countries who are going to be the the mandatory powers, they are going to be neutral and they are going to be helpful in their development, in their economic development. But what happened? What actually happened, the victor powers, they did not let them be only the mandate. They were trying to they were trying to serve or fulfill their own interest. So this mandate, there was a mandate commission which was formed, and this mandate commission was to permanent mandate commission was to provide this report from time to time to the League of Nations. This mandate commissions, whatever this permanent mandate commission had to receive complaints from the people, from the mandates, say they needed to receive the complaint and to redress their grievances. But what happened? The mandate system was not at all neutral or fair, or we can say it was not at all it was also inclined towards the victor pass. So again, this mandate system was playing the politics of the victors through this mandate system. The another function which the league was doing was protection of the minorities. Now, can you tell me, matlab being, don't consider a student of IR abhi right now, and tell me ki if when India and Pakistan, when India got independence and when the nation of India was divided into two parts, that is India and Pakistan, can the sentiments of people, I mean, the way it was divided, Hindu for Hindustan and Muslims for Pakistan, and please don't take me wrong, I'm just asking the question. So, India became a secular country and Pakistan became an Islamic country. So, can we say the sentiments of the people can also be divided? The way it had happened that people were forced to leave Pakistan, that okay, you people are Hindus, then you should not stay here and you should be staying in India. So can the sentiments of the people be underestimated? Think about this. Tell me, what are your views on this? See, this is not a class where I am going to only speak and you are going to listen. You have to share your views so that it can become a lively class. I told you in the beginning only. हाँ पार्थ बताओ.
मैम जहाँ तक कि मेरा मानना है कि मतलब लोगों के सेंटिमेंट्स को डिवाइड तो नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि जो देश जो आज़ाद हुआ था वो मतलब हिंदू और मुस्लिम सभी के मतलब सभी ने हिस्सा लिया था उसको पार्ट लेने में, मतलब उसे आज़ादी दिलाने में, तो वो विभाजन एक प्रकार से गलत था।
ओके, ये जो डिवीजन हुआ था दैट वाज सोनली फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन. वी कैन से दैट we did not we did not divide India and Pakistan on the basis of language, on the basis of culture, or on the basis of food habit. We did not divide, right? So think about think about the condition of Europe when at that point of time जर्मनी के बहुत सारे टेरिटरी को दूसरे कंट्रीज में एसिमुलेट कर दिया गया. दैट इज व्हाई आई आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन. So, if you are assimilating different territories of Germany and the territories of vanquished power to another victor side, do you think that minorities का issue नहीं आएगा? अभी भी पाकिस्तान में Hindus are minority and they are still facing problem, right? So think about that period of time when the minorities, different minorities like German minorities, then also Bulgarian minorities, they were living in France, Poland, Yugoslavia, Greece. They were staying in these places. So do you think कि in minorities के साथ they are going to behave properly or they are going to consider them as mainstream? No, obviously not. So the League of Nations wanted to organize the states on the basis of nationality, that is one nation, one state, which was not at all possible at that point of time. So League of Nations was trying to do so on the basis that they are going to have because they felt that one nationality should live in one state. So what happened when the peace treaties were signed? So new boundaries were fixed. So it was found that there were so many minorities in Europe and they were different from the main nationality constituting a state. League of Nations became the guardian of national minorities and accepted the principle of international supervision coupled with the national sovereignty. Now here there are two words, international supervision and national sovereignty. Here comes the problem. League of Nations being an international organization did not had this power to interfere in the sovereignty of the nation. If you are creating one nation, one state on the basis of nationality, you are creating one state. So what is going to happen? You cannot interfere the internal matters of that state. So if you cannot interfere in internal matters, then what is the point of international supervision? So these two principles did not work properly, and that was the reason that protection of minorities could not happen. And there was also a minorities section in the League of Nations, which was responsible for collection of data and information on the subjects of minorities. But as you can see, under the mandate system या administrative function के अंदर League of Nations was a weak institution. Here also the protection of minority which league had taken as its role could not perform well, and that is why people had to suffer. The minority section had to suffer. They uh, they uh, they were actually at the mercy of the government of the countries they were concerned with, and League of Nations couldn't do anything. So this was the minorities issue. The second important function with the league, which the League of Nations was performing, was economic and social activities. Here we can say that somewhere League of Nations was trying to do some important thing, but again you would see that they could not do it properly. Why? Because being an international organization, they should have worked as a as a neutral organization, but they couldn't do so. So what were the issues with which they dealt? So they took measures for the rehabilitation of the war-torn economies of several countries, for which they appointed economic and financial committees also, so that they could understand and they could read about the problems and solution could be provided. There was also a World Economic Conference which was convened in 1933 to devise the means for the economic recovery of the crisis facing world. Also, the League of Nations provided economic assistance to different countries in order to overcome difficult situations. Then repatriation of the prisoners of war. For this also they worked, and they they played an important role. Health organization was set up. So we have read about International Labour Organization. So here is the important thing, that they were also working to promote international cooperation and protection of public health. For this, the Eastern Bureau of the Health Organization was established in Singapore in order to deal with communicable diseases. Then they also worked in the field of international transport, whereby they set up different committees to work on rail transport, then simplification of the system of passport, then rules regarding commerce and tourism. For these things, there were different rules and regulations. Also, development of waterways were thought of. Then prevention of trafficking of women and children. How many of you know about AFSPA? AFSPA. Law students?
It's Armed Force Special Powers Act.
Okay, what is Armed Force Special Powers Act?
Ma'am, it's applicable in those areas only which require special attention in terms of army. Like it was in Jammu and Kashmir.
Okay. Also, so what was happening, and so AFSPA was a good thing, or was it going beyond its powers?
Ma'am, as if I don't remember this scenario, but earlier when it was enforced there, implemented there, it was required, but over the time it was realized that it is going beyond its power.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. So, why I asked this question? Because I think you should know that yes, it is Armed Forces Special Powers Act, and it was not a constitutional. We cannot say it was there in the Constitution because it's a parliamentary act passed by Indian Parliament, which grants special powers to the Indian armed forces and also the paramilitary forces of the state, which special powers granted to armed forces and paramilitary forces of the state for those areas which are classified as disturbed areas. Okay. Why it is implemented? Because in these disturbed areas, it is difficult to implement or difficult to maintain the law and order. So why I ask this question? Because this particular power is such in case that it provides, I mean, it gives powers to the army and the state and central police forces to shoot, to kill, search houses, and they can even destroy the property which they think are used for illegal purposes and illegal means. Yes, Nandini, you were right when you said ki ma'am, it was imposed in Jammu and Kashmir, but it has been imposed in different parts of India, also in Nagaland and
Yes,
other.
ma'am. Majorly,
And शायद
Naxalite
छत्तीसगढ़ में भी
movement
है.
was the issue.
Yes, Nandini, what did you say?
Ma'am, I was just saying that no, in the Northeast, it was imposed because of that Naxalite issues and other issues as well. The pressure groups that were fighting for different territory, for getting separated from India.
Okay, frankly speaking, yes, you are right. For Chhattisgarh, I don't exactly remember, but I feel somewhere in 2016 or 17, I was reading this that it is going to be imposed. So yes, Parth, you may be right. मुझे ठीक से याद नहीं है
मैम
पर
वहाँ पे एक आईईडी ब्लास्ट हुआ था,
हाँ,
उसके बाद शायद से लगा था.
अच्छा मुझे याद नहीं है, मैंने पढ़ा है तो मुझे लगता है कि लगा होगा, तो मे बी होगा. Why I am asking these questions? Because a डिस्टर्ब एरिया में या फिर एक वॉर टॉर्न एरियाज में सबसे बड़ा इशू होता है प्रोटेक्शन ऑफ वुमेन एंड चिल्ड्रन का. AFSPA मैंने आपके जनरल अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए पूछ लिया था, उसका यहाँ पे कोई काम नहीं है. कंसिडर अ कंट्री वेयर वॉर हैज हैपेंड, तो women are at risk of trafficking and children are also at the risk of trafficking. यहाँ पे नेशनैलिटी का इशू हो रहा है. यहाँ पे एक टेरिटरी से दूसरे टेरिटरी में लोगों को मतलब एक टेरिटरी किसी एक कंट्री का पार्ट था, उसे दूसरी कंट्री का पार्ट बना दिया जा रहा है. तो कैन यू इमेजिन द कंडीशन ऑफ वुमेन एंड चिल्ड्रन देयर? सो trafficking of women and children was rampant. So the economic and social activities which the League of Nations was doing, also they were trying to through this they were trying to prevent the trafficking of women and children. Why I asked you this question? Because Kashmir mein this was a major issue, that since Kashmir used to be a disturbed area, तो वहाँ पे ये इशू बहुत आता था. वुमेन सेफ्टी ऑफ वुमेन एंड सेफ्टी ऑफ चिल्ड्रन बहुत ज़्यादा आता था. एक इस पे बहुत सारी मूवीज भी बनी हैं, मुझे नाम याद नहीं है, पर आप देखिए, ये बहुत अच्छी है. So the League of Nations was also performing this function of prevention of trafficking of women and children. And for this, a special article was mentioned in the league, and this was article, I don't remember actually, 21 hoga या फिर 23 hoga, through which women and children were given special rights so that the trafficking of women and children could be stopped. Okay. Then this League of Nations, through their economic and social activities, also worked for the trafficking of opium and other dangerous drugs, for which they formed an advisory committee, and the main purpose of this advisory committee was to limit and control all types of narcotics, that is opium or heroin or cocaine, and they wanted this to limit these drugs only for medicinal use. Also, they took the issue of slavery and forced labor, and they worked for the intellectual cooperation, whereby they thought of an idea of cooperating amongst scientists, teachers, writers, and academicians and artists. So these were the functions which League of Nations was performing through economic and social activities. So the last function which the League of Nations was performing was pacific settlement of dispute, and this pacific settlement of dispute was actually happening through through three major ways. The one was settlement of disputes, for which we have already discussed that the Permanent Court of International Justice was interested कि अगर कोई dispute आता है तो they were actually working. Then reduction of armaments, and finally the collective security. Reduction of armaments, I had already told you, we had discussed one day कि disarmament and arms control. So it is difficult to think for disarmament because the condition was not so. But reduction in armament, so this reduction of armament is also not going to work. Why? Because the victors, they are not going to reduce the armament, but the vanquished were asked to reduce their armament. Obviously, this is also not going to work, and these are going to pave the ways for Second World War. And finally, I was talking about collective security, where one day I had said you that collective security was actually a concept through which League was trying to preserve territorial integrity and sovereignty of all the members of the world body, and it worked in a way that all for one and one for all. If there is an attack on one country, then it is attack on all countries, and if it is an attack on all, obviously the one who is a member of that particular organization, member of or ally of that particular nation, so this is an attack on that country also. So these were the major functions with which League of Nations was doing. We are left with only one topic, that is success or failure of the League of Nations, for which I think I'll take one class tomorrow. And with this, League of Nations would come to an end. So it's already time. So you can ask me question. Till then, I'll take your attendance. Yes, Varnika.
Ma'am, as you quoted the example of India and Pakistan, and as you said that the division was made for administrative purposes, but the basis of the division was, I would say, was religion, if I'm not wrong, right?
This is religion. I said you, India, Hindu for Hindustan,
Yes.
and Muslim for Pakistan. Okay, but
with that,
yes,
ma'am.
yes, Varnika. You said this, and I said you said this, and I said कि also for the purpose of administration. ठीक है? Wasn't it related to administration? Obviously, if इसको ऐसा देखो कि अगर हम एक साथ होते, अगर ये डिवीजन नहीं होता, क्या एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन पॉसिबल था?
Ma'am, my question is for like it is proceeding, so I'll continue with the question. If as you said, European division was basically on the basis of nationality.
Yes.
Rather than we could have had a division, something like a division on the basis of minorities or division on the basis of not nationality as in such, because we as a country could have had a division like without a basis of uh, religion, because we are a more secular and democratic country. And during that time, I suppose Europe was not so. The concept
Uh,
of
yes. Are you?
democracy and secularism was pretty new.
Yes.
So
Yes. You are trying to say that we cannot consider these two cases as similar, right?
yes, yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
I understood. That example which I was giving you for India and Pakistan, that was only for your understanding, because I understand this ki still you must be knowing all those things, but I was just trying to simplify things. इंडिया और पाकिस्तान का एग्जाम्पल मैं इसलिए दे रही थी कि नेशनैलिटी से कोई मतलब नहीं था इसका। इसका मतलब बस यही था, आई वॉज ट्राइंग टू सिंप्लीफाई थिंग्स कि अगर डिवीजन हो जाता है तो क्या सेंटिमेंट्स डिफर करेंगे, मैंने ये बात बोला था।
Yes, ma'am. So what if we applied what we applied for India and Pakistan during that time of the division of Europe? Like instead of a nationalistic sentiment, we could have divided Europe on the basis of minorities, because that could that have worked instead of the division on the basis of nationalism, nationality?
That division was totally for the victors to grab the territories under their control, ठीक है। people were not asked anything, and उस टाइम पे क्या होता, उस टाइम पे you were not there, I was not there, but I can tell you कि the division which they took, or the way they took the division, was full for the fulfilling of the interest of the victor powers. First thing. Second thing, if the division would have been in such a way, thinking about all the people, then why would we say ki the victors were, or we can, I was talking about the Treaty of Versailles and League of Nations, was not a neutral way, or was not working fairly. So what had happened at that point of time, if we suppose कि अगर ऐसा होता ही नहीं, because why, because somewhere they were trying to extract, देखो ये जो डिवीजन हुआ था ना ये टेरिटरीज का, actually they did not want Germany to rise in such a way कि जिस तरह से Germany had challenged Britain in the past. So it was done in such a way, that is why I have told you to understand this in terms of politics, the game of politics which the victors were using against the vanquished. So they were trying to they had divided the territory on the basis of that. जैसे कि सार के बारे में तुम्हें बताया कि सार का एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन जो है वो फ्रेंच को क्यों दिया गया, क्योंकि दैट वाज अनदर थिंग, क्योंकि फ्रेंच और जर्मनी का रिलेशन ठीक नहीं था। in order to punish Germany, it was done. Okay, so क्या होता वो मुश्किल है कहना, लेकिन I can only say you कि ऐसा होता ही नहीं, क्योंकि अगर इतने तरीके से होता तो लीग ऑफ नेशंस बहुत अच्छे से काम करती, और लीग ऑफ नेशंस अच्छे से काम करती तो सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर नहीं होता। मे बी इन सारे बातों को ध्यान में रखते हुए यूनाइटेड नेशंस के अंडर कुछ प्रोविजंस को ऐसे रखे गए हैं कि इट कुड वर्क इन अ मोर प्रॉपर वे। यस, before you say anything, I am not able to download attendance. Yesterday also I couldn't download your attendance, so is there any other way to download it, क्योंकि पता नहीं मेरा डाउनलोड काम नहीं कर रहा है।
मैम स्क्रीनशॉट ले लीजिए आप।
स्क्रीनशॉट लेने का तरीका इज इफ आई एम नॉट
मैम विंडो की प्लस
screen,
प्रिंट स्क्रीन।
वो भी मेरा काम नहीं कर रहा है। आई डोंट नो, समथिंग हैज हैपेंड। okay, I'll do one thing, I'll take attendance, I'll call out your names and then you can ask for attendance. Varnika, it's already time. If you want to discuss anything more, we can discuss this tomorrow if it's
No,
not so with you,
Uh,
because it's already time and I'll
yes.
have to leave at 6 o'clock. Thank you so much. We will meet tomorrow then.
Ma'am, are you going to call out our names today or no?